Welcome to Banta with Toni. Join me as I share stories about motherhood, faith, life, love, and everything else in between. I promise we'll also have some fun along the way, and I hope that the time we spend together will end up being some of the highlights of your week. Thank you for coming along. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Banta with Toni. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful week and that this will be a good end cap to your work week as you get ready to enjoy your weekend. As for me personally, this is going to be a good weekend for me. I plan on seeing Sinners, so I've been trying to make sure that I'm not consuming too much, that's giving away too much about the movie, but I am excited for that one. I can't wait to go to theaters to see that. So that's part of my plans this weekend and just other things to just kind of relax. It's crazy how much things can change in the span of like a week. Because last week I was like in so much pain, so much was going on. And it's like slowly I've gotten better. Things are changing. Health wise, I'm doing good. It really made me like think about my diet. So one of the things I've been trying to do is really be more strict with myself and more consistent. Because everything comes back down to what you put in your body. So this last bout for me just made me think, okay, you have some changes you need to make and you need to make them. So, I'm working on eating for fuel and not just for pleasure. If I can find a good medium there, I like me some healthy food. I like, fish and veggies, as long as it's like roasted, has a little bit of, charness to it. I can do it. So I have high hopes that I'm going to stick to my diet restrictions that I've created. So far, no dairy. I'm trying to do no sweetener, but I put creamer when I have my coffee. So no dairy, no really extra sugars, and I'm watching the carbs. So pray for me. I pray I continue down this journey. Easter, I had to let go of that diet a little bit, okay? I had rice, okay? I had made some coconut rice for my family, and it was only right that I consumed said rice. But like even my plate at Easter, I couldn't even completely like finish it. I made like this big plate, like when they say you eat with your eyes and not your stomach, oh my gosh. Made this huge plate that I didn't even get to finish. Like, as you're cooking, you're taking taste of things here and there. And then I got to it and I was like, I had like 5 bites and I was done. So I really had to force myself to even finish what I did for Easter. But it was a good Easter. I worked the night before. So I came home. I slept a little bit. My family went to church. I couldn't make it to church because I was so tired. And like I said, I was still recovering from being sick the previous week. So I knew I needed rest. I knew I wanted to go to church so bad, but I'm like, the rest is more important. So I came home from church, slept. Okay. And then when my family came home, my mom and my niece came home and then they woke me up and then we all cooked together. So it was a beautiful time. Like in the past, I have definitely like thought about when these holidays will come together and how I imagined it. And this year it kind of panned out like how I imagined it, which is like just me with the women in my family. We all just coming together and cooking and enjoying each other's time, spending good quality time. It was a lot of fun. So we had some good memories there, good moments there, and I pray for you and for me that we continue to have memories like that. I am really leaning into this my soft girl era, and I hope that some of you guys are coming along with me into this soft girl era, but it's going to happen. So much has gone down. What did I tell you guys? I said, if you don't want me to talk about it, don't do it. And y'all have been out here doing things, During that week when I was sick, I was on my phone a lot because there would be times like when like I need that to distract me. So if I wasn't trying to get some rest, I was just on my phone and I saw everything. So we are going to talk about everything that I done saw it. Okay, I saw it all. The first thing, I am in today. Yo, I am in today. It be God design. That's all I need to say. If I have just sang that and you don't know what I'm about to talk about, you have been under a rock. Okay? JP 2025. And then I watched the Yabo's post, her latest post, and she said, oh, next up, Tanzania. I'm like, ma'am, what is left? You Nigerians did not leave anything. What is left? What are they going to do in Tanzania at this point? First they were in Tanzania, then they came to Nigeria. Nigeria showed everything they are capable of. And now you say there's more? Ma'am, what is left, ma'am? I mean, at this point, are they going to come off spaceship? Are they going to go to orbit too? Like, oh, Lord Jesus. JP 2025, no games were played. What is it? I need to go back and get married again. You know what? I need a vow renewal. After seeing that, what What? Oh my gosh. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I don't even know where to start. Okay. So all I know is da 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 da. And I was like, okay, outfit. Okay. Another outfit. Another outfit. Outfit. And then the guests did not let us breathe too. Everybody was coming with their bespoke items. I mean, ashwebi to the finest. Okay. The finest delivered. Like, this just made me think about like when, over here, the idea of like being upstaging the bride, and in Nigeria is like, if I upstage you, that's your fault. That means you did not bring it enough because it's your wedding. I love you. That's why I'm bringing it. Like, the energy. Loved it. Mother of the bride, she brought it. Chioma brought it. Any two had some outfit changes. Oh my gosh. Everything, every video that I had seen, it was beautiful. And I'm trying to make sure I give credit. But one thing I've noticed now, the new brides, what they're doing is they will have a stylist. So it's the job of this person to put together the looks, and they're the ones that will hire the designers. So Vicky James did her actual white wedding dress, and she gave the story of that, of all the intricates. I think she said 12 different types of beading was used on there. But it was the job of this stylist, and he did such a great job. So I remember watching his video on Threads, and he was just talking about all the looks and, who designed what. And, like, that's the stuff I live for. That's the stuff I live for. So they did such a good job. You can tell when there's planning and vision there. And even Chuma talked about it. Like, she was like, I cannot do this because I'm such a perfectionist, but she did a wonderful job. At the core of it, oh my gosh, outside of the looks, the fashion, all the frivolous stuff, what are the takeaways? The first one was how the parents were able to put whatever issues, feelings, past, all of those things they had aside for the good of their daughter. And that was something to be commended, because then I heard the story about the mom and dad and how things were not so great with them. But you couldn't tell. He was still honored. The focus was on their daughter. And that was such a beautiful thing to see. And then come to find out the mother's partner played such a big role in putting together this wedding. But look at how he gave the family space for them to enjoy themselves. And I'm sure behind the scenes, Priscilla and the mommy Yabo were like giving him praises and thanking him for everything he did. But he gave them their space, their spotlight. The only person that was misbehaving at this thing was Diamond Platnumz. Can somebody please sit him down? Oh my gosh, Diamond showing himself. Why? The man was crying on his wedding day. Why are you going to go ask him why he's crying? Maybe, Diamond, it's time for you to grow up, find a good relationship that you can connect to, that you can have that emotional connection. And then you two can have a wedding where you're crying at it. Like, it's the questioning for me. And then it's him doing it, like saying it in his native language and not like remembering that we're in the day of internet. Boy, you said it in your language, thinking that we weren't going to understand. They interpreted it. They put it for us in English so we can read. We know what you said, Diamond. We saw it. And, all jokes aside, everybody's going to have their opinions. My thing is, if you have been friends with somebody like Diamond, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it, and especially given his antics, his behavior of asking those questions, I would say maybe that's a relationship that's eventually, now that, Juma is married, that relationship is going to have to evolve. Because if Diamond is not changing and you are serious about this relationship and you're serious about being committed to this individual, I'm not saying because you get into a relationship, you need to get rid of friends. It's the type of friends that are required for you to move forward in your relationship. And when he's questioning you why you're crying, what kind of question is that? Shouldn't he know that this is an emotional thing? So why are you asking questions, Ogasa? What is it? For me, it was like a big red flag, because I'm like, this might be a relationship. Like, if he doesn't learn boundaries with this relationship and probably certain things, you probably will not go to a Diamond. Diamond's probably not the one to ask, because marriage is going to come with its ups and downs. He's probably not the one for you to be going and asking when you have those little rough patches, because that man going to tell you to go be with another woman. And then the entire Nigerian country is going to have to go looking for you. And you don't want none of that. So if I were you, Diamond would not be the one I go to for relationship advice. But outside of that, it's also like the power of just people just showing up for you. Like, that was so beautiful to see. Everybody that showed up to celebrate them, that can be overwhelming, but it just speaks to the type of person Priscilla and the mom and their family is, how much they are loved and cared for, that all these people showed up and thought themselves, because when you have an event like this, who was I explaining it to? Because they were like, it seems like they didn't have space. I was like, oh yeah, because you are inviting like 300 people. And usually you're like, okay, maybe only half of those people are going to honor it. So when you start planning an event or start doing certain things before people RSVP, but African events, there's no even RSVP. What's the point? So really, you're always going to say, okay, maybe 300 might show up. But, usually people have stuff. People have something going on. Like maybe 200 of that 300. But I'm sure for them, every single person they invited show up and then probably even brought some people. So they did the best with what they got. Everything I felt like came out right. I wish them well. So much attention and everything else that I hope they take their time, like kind of disappear a little bit, That's always good for the beginning part of a relationship. Let it just be you and your partner, like kind of like lay low a little bit, enjoy your new marriage, not have anybody interfering with it, and kind of like find you guys' rhythm. But we wish them well. Nigeria has this whole relationship on their back. Tanzania, the heat is on you. Apparently, the wedding celebrations are not finished. So I don't know. Like I said, even the wedding cake, it was a full-blown wedding cake. Like they entered the cake to be the bride and groom on the cake. Like that's how big the cake was. Lord. It was an extravaganza. It was, I loved all the videos I was seeing. Everything. The opulence, the extraness, I loved it. Everything was beautiful. Yeah, all the 55 outfits. I think it was like maybe 10. Did I count 10? Everything that I saw on her, I liked. And we haven't even talked about the guests yet and all the outfits. Like, please, you guys are unmatched. Last year, Sharon Oja came and finished us. And then now this year, this is the biggest one so far. And then Toni, she is also getting married. She's an author, and I guess now she kind of is like an author / influencer, and she has a podcast, and she had done like her introduction, but it was like maybe a few days before the whole JP 2025 stuff happened. And her dress was beautiful too. I think it was done by Bukola too. She did that. And I just, her hair was on point. The green dress, I love me some green. Green is a symbol of abundance, and we always gonna have abundance. So her stuff was beautiful too. And I just remember like seeing that one picture from her that she shared. And then we saw JP 2025. So maybe she has more pictures she's going to share. But I'm like, Toni, please, you're such a gorgeous, gorgeous girl. Her and her boo, like, they make such a cute combination. Like, when they finally have kids, they're going to be just beautiful. Like, her and her boo are just beautiful together. Like, it's cute. So I'm sure her stuff is going to be coming out soon. So we will not have rest. Okay? Because I'm sure Toni, she's going to bring it to with her wedding and her fashions. She'd already given us like a pre-wedding photo shoot. And then now she just did introduction, this thing. So she's like, let me let JP 2025 breathe. Let you guys take a little deep breath a little bit. And then I'm sure she's bringing it too. So, we are here. We will be observing. Yo, me today. Yo. Oh, Lord. That song is going to be in my head for a minute. So many new albums galore. The first one was Davido. Oh my gosh. Daryl Vega. I had seen the video of Daryl Vega and Davido doing like the promo leading up to this album release, and I was like, these people are fools. Like the fact that he even did this with Daryl, and Daryl is so serious but so unserious at the same time. Like he's the most unserious serious person. Oh my gosh. Cannot deliver one thing. He said he was producer on an album. Then he said he's now assistant. Never assisted with nothing. Chicken you did not bring. Nothing you brought. What did you assist with except for helping yourself to that banana? What is it? But I listened to Davido's new album. And like I always tell you guys, like whenever I listen to an album, I go through it and then I'll go back to the ones that stood out to me and liked. So usually I wouldn't like too many, but so far what I have on my list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm missing one. I think I'm missing the Victoria Monet song. So 6 is what I have so far. And then the week before, Odumodu Blvck's album had come out and I listened to that one. That one I have 1, 2, 3. But then if you add the other song that he had released, I think 4 out of that album that I liked. And then the week before that, Aqyila had come out with her album. Her voice is so soothing to me. Her lyrics are just beautiful. I love the artist that she is. And I loved her entire album. I think I liked like every dang song because they were already like Most Wanted. 911, I'm calling. And then Bloom, I had already loved. Like, so there were some songs that I already listened to and loved. But then like the new ones that I heard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 new songs that I heard from the album. So many album releases. Davido's album, let's start with that one. I felt like in the beginning, it kind of like, okay, no. And then I felt like towards the end, the second half of the album is for me, what I noticed I was liking a lot more. So the way he set up the stuff, I feel like the heavy hitters started coming in later and later. Because I think at that point, every song I was hearing, then I was like adding. So, you know, he progressed. Okay, there was a progression. And what I like too about that is that he did have a lot of features. But nothing day. Hey, I'm speaking like I'm not an African person. Oh Lord Jesus, help me. Nothing day. Okay, nothing day. That song, he's on there by himself, and I love that song. So for me, that always speaks to somebody's ability. Like, we're collaborative in these days, so you're always gonna have features. But I also want to have a few songs where it's just you, and I just love listening to you, listening to your voice, listening to your lyrics and all that. That's just you, not featuring anybody else. So he delivered in that area. He delivered. So it was good. It was a good effort. I cannot wait to see what songs he releases. Let's see if any of my favorites get released as singles, okay? All right. That Victony song, Holy Water. First of all, I just love Victony's voice. Oh my gosh. He has such an angelic voice. I don't know what I just did there. Okay. So that was good. Lover Boy with Tacy and Daju. Chocolat, my boys now. Of course, I was going to add that to my list. Come on. He has a song with Becky G. Like I said, Nothing Day. That's by himself. Obviously, I'd already like, please don't take my funds. And then the song with Victoria Monet, I wanted to give it a chance just to listen to it first, and then I'm going back to add it. So that was it for that. And then Odumodu Blvck's album, it was rough for me. I really wanted to like it, but he started to sound like repetitive on every song. And I liked 3 songs. So these are the songs that I added. I added Early Morning. I added Iskaba Man. And then I added Barista Tofu. Those are the only 3. I feel like I need to go back and listen to the whole album again. But from that first listen, I only added those 3. And like I said, there are other songs that he has on the album that I had already had on my playlist, but these are the new 3 that I added. And for me, I just felt like maybe the album wasn't quite there yet. Like, I felt like he was maybe there 70% of the time, but whoever it is that's making the final decisions, because I don't know if he's an independent artist or if he's going through a label, they needed to send him back to the studio for something. Like, just always felt like some of the songs I was hearing, it wasn't quite ripe yet. And then he started to sound the same in every song. So then I was like, I know it can be so much better. And somewhere, I don't know, maybe he got comfortable with a certain sound, like something in there wasn't finished all the way for me. But these 3 that I added, I felt like when I heard them, like, and that's a way I know too, like when I hear it that first time, sometimes if I have to go back and after I go back, then I like a song, then I don't give it as much impact. But when I hear it for the first time and something clicks for me and I'm adding it like in the first 30 seconds, then you have created something here. So those three were good. Those 3 were bangers in my book. And like I said, Aqyla's album, oh my gosh, Focus, Sunshine, Give Me More. I already liked Bloom and Most Wanted, then Down and Wolf. Wolf was good. So if you haven't listened to those albums yet, go out and listen. Take a listen. And the week before that, I think I finally was starting to listen to SZA's album, but I haven't finished all of it. But hers, I added like 5 of them to my playlist. Kitchen, My Turn, Chill Baby, No More Hiding, and of course BMF. We've been listening to that already. But yeah, it's been a few weeks of me listening to new albums I hadn't shared, so that was me sharing. Any other pop culture? Oh my gosh, so much stuff. I just saw today Kendrick Lamar is now one of the ambassadors for Chanel, and that was surprising and good. Lupita Nyong'o is already an ambassador, so now they're adding Kendrick. So it's going to be interesting to see if, they even do collaboration together for his tour. And I think he's coming to Houston tonight. Oh my gosh. I wish I could have gone, but no, I have to be at work. I have to gain my employment. Okay. I wish I could have been there. If I could have, I would have, but I will not be at that concert. But who knows? Life is a beautiful thing. Sometimes maybe a concert comes to your city and you're not able to see it, but then life opens up an opportunity and it goes to another city and maybe you fly to that city and you go see it. I see, I'm calling that into existence right now. I might have not seen him today, but it doesn't mean I will not see him never. Okay? You never know. The tour is still young. So maybe one of these other cities, an opportunity will present itself. I'm speaking it now into my life that I can go and experience this Kendrick concert because I really did want to see them in concert. I really did want to go. That one I really, really, really did. And I was kind of bummed. Like when I saw it, I was like, I'm not going to be able to go. Yeah. So that's that. I'm sure there are other pop culture things, but I feel like these JP 2025 took up most of the conversation today. That what else is left? What else can we talk about? Oh my gosh. Like so much has happened. Ooh, before I get off. So yesterday I was scrolling to TikTok. I haven't been on TikTok lately because, like I said, when I was sick, I was just kind of scrolling the internet or whatever, but like with intention, like the way I used to be on there to like, watch my funny videos and all that stuff. So I got on TikTok yesterday, and then there was a video of this lady talking about nurses and how they are ghetto because the nurses that have their makeup and their lashes and their long nails are ghetto. So when somebody uses that word, we know what demographic they are referring to. And it was kind of confusing because the woman herself looks like she could be mixed. So that's why I was like, are you shading your own people? Like, because you look like you're maybe half black or something like that. But that video has been all like the reactions to that. I've been watching that because I'm like, ooh, Lord. So this is the thing. She shared that story. So first of all, in the nursing field, we're not supposed to have these fake nails. But like going to the nail salon sometimes for us is like part of our self-care. Like me personally, getting my pedicures because I'm on my feet a lot, that's part of my self-care. So if you're getting your toes done, chances are you're getting your nails done too. A lot of places, they don't want you putting like nail polish, adding artificial nails and all these other stuff. Now, do a lot of the employers probably enforce it as much as they should? Probably not, because again, we have a nursing shortage. Are you going to send somebody home because they have nails, or are you going to allow them to take care of the patients so that your other nurses don't have 6 patients? Okay, pick your battles. So in our profession, in our field, we're not supposed to have them in the first place. So we all know this, but not everybody abides by those rules. And for me, for example, if I go on vacation, I'm going to get my nails done, okay? And usually, depending on how many days I have off PTO, maybe I'll come back like a week later and I take it off, okay? But I have been approached before. Like, you have fake nails, you need to remove them by next week, okay? So we all know that, it's common nursing knowledge. Now, the other stuff that she's talking about lashes and makeup, to each his own. Like, as a nurse, you go through so much already, like taking care of people, that you have to learn how to take care of yourself. And that represents something different for everyone. Because when I was leaving on her page, the girl that made this video, I'm like, okay, you have your nails done here. You look like you wear makeup. Do you only do that for TikTok? Because how sad is that? Like, you only wear makeup for TikTok? Like, so you're trying to tell me when you go to work, you don't put on makeup, you don't do all that? Like, it just seemed like a personal thing. And then other people made the same observation. So I was just like, okay, I know I'm not the only one. It just seemed like a personal thing or incident that she was having with somebody and then decided to make it into a generalized statement that now got her into this whole heap of trouble. Was some of the things she was saying correct? Yes, because she said she had a meeting with the MP and she was dressing appropriately where her breast was showing. I'm not sure whatever that was, but yes, professionalism and how we put ourselves together. Whenever you're talking about people and how they put themselves together, you always have to be very careful. And this is something that even I have had experience, because I remember when I held the opinion that, us as Black women, we should not be out in public wearing bonnets and whatever. Because I'm like, if you go to my house, I own like 10 of them. So it's not like I don't wear one, but it's like, I just want more for us. Like when we go out, like when you even look at like Black people, how we used to dress back in the day, I'm like, yes, I want us to be put together. I want us to bring our best foot forward. And nobody is going to say you need to be perfect all the time. But it's like, let's have certain limits. Let's have certain places that we won't go. But I remember even me sharing that opinion online. People are like, what the heck she talking about? And blah, 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 and woobity woo boo. Yeah. So it's always a tricky situation when you're talking about people's looks. And then when she uses the word ghetto. Yeah. I'm like, Miss Ma'am, you've gotten yourself into some deep waters now. So good luck climbing out of that. I want to be at her workplace when she goes back to work. Because she must work with some nurses with lashes. And then how petty us women can be. Because some of them are going to go there and put on makeup today. Ones that never even wear makeup. Ones that never even wear lashes. They're all going to have makeup and lashes on today. Disturbing her. Or whenever next she went to work. Look at me. She made video yesterday. Who knows when next she's going to work. But I can just imagine, like, I would love to be a fly on the wall when she returns to work. Because that's going to be something. But it's a lot of things to unpack. Like the first thing is like she's trying to say at the essence, people don't take the profession seriously because of sometimes how people present themselves. But one thing you have to learn in healthcare is that there are a lot of like biases, right? And I have seen that firsthand. Like there is certain way that we have to behave as professionals. And then there are certain things that if you belong to a certain group of people, things that other people can do and get away with, when you do it, it's looked as unprofessional. I'm just going to say it. When a white woman shows up, because I've worked with white women before that wear lashes and makeup, you're not going to use that word ghetto. But when the black woman shows up with her fake lashes and her makeup done, all of a sudden you categorize it as ghetto. So you yourself, you have to be aware. Like, that's why I say, even within the healthcare field, and this is something they teach us, is your implicit bias. So what she didn't even understand was that this conversation was a very delicate thing to have. It's one thing if you're saying somebody dressed in a way that was inappropriate and, you know, they showed themselves off. But again, I am a woman that God has blessed up top. And I remember one time I was wearing, true story, one time I was wearing one of my figs, but it's like the figs that is like the wider one. I think it's the Rafa or something. It's the Ra something. That's the name of this particular scrubs. If you know this particular one, like it's kind of bigger, but then that V on the middle is cut a certain way. So I just remember I was taking care of a patient. I think we were having we called like a code or something. And this NP came to answer. And because she made a comment about, oh, my chest was showing or whatever. And then she proceeded to aim to want to pull this thing up. Now, I was at work. But if you have seen my face during that time, and I'm sure she saw my face too, because my face, sometimes I will keep my mouth shut, but my face will tell the whole story. I was like, you should thank God that I am at this hospital right now because you're violating. Like, how are you not sensible enough to know, you can have your opinion. You can say what you said about, oh, my boobs are out. Again, you're not even aware of the fact that I'm a woman of a certain chest. So even when I don't try for them to be out, they are going to show a little bit. What I do now is I wear a wife beater. What did I just say? I like to say white beater because somebody did tell me it is wife beater. And I was like, that's ridiculous. But because apparently they call it wife beater because the men who were violent to their wives always wore the white undervest. So that's why it's called that. But anyways, that's a conversation for another day. My white beater, okay? Because I'm like, I cannot call it wife beater. My white beater underneath it. But just the fact, you are touching my body. You can have whatever opinion you're going to have. But why the heck are you reaching over to me? And she herself, she was like an NP. But again, it's one of those implicit things, right? Because I'm a black nurse. I'm just going to call it what it is. You had an opinion of whatever it is you thought my scrubs were. And then you proceeded to touch me and violate me. And the look on her face, she must have seen it where it's you do not put your hands on me, because she backed up real quick. And then she changed the subject to the meds, which is what you should have been talking about in the first place, because you came in there and we're having a code. So I don't know why you're worried about my stuff. But these are some of the things people are talking about, the microaggressions that you have to deal with at work. So same thing. I've worked with many, many women who come to work and they're done up. I even used to be one of those where I'm like, I didn't come to work for a fashion show. But God knows I've been through some stuff. And sometimes it's to uplift my spirits. I want to put on my makeup. I want to do all that to go to work, because it's when you look good, you feel good. Let people just do what works for them. I felt like she was having a conversation that she was not prepared for. You were not ready to truly seriously have this conversation, because first, to have it, you have to also check yourself to make sure that you don't have any implicit biases, and you could not do that. So you were not the one to have this conversation. Is it a conversation we can have? Everybody can deal with criticism. Is there criticism to have? I'm sure there is. There are things and areas that we can improve as nurses because we're trying to make sure our profession is taken seriously. Yes, it's valid. However, you are not capable of delivering that message, Miss Ma'am, because one, it's a personal thing. We all pick that up. So go deal with whatever that is that's happening. You didn't need to bring that on the internet. And now you have a whole bunch of people mad at you because you generalized from this one individual that you're feeling some kind of way about. Go work it out. So anyways, I leave that as where it is, microaggressions, craziness. But I've been lucky enough to work with people that I love and adore. And we're just going to leave that there. Oh, Lord. So today's episode, I guess maybe you're giving after the kind of week and then me seeing everything online. Today, I want to talk about the gift of comfort. Okay. Resting in God, in love, and life. So what does comfort mean to you? And comfort for a lot of us is different, right? I was just talking about, for me, comfort is peace. Sometimes it's the kind of food I have, ambiance that I create, and me just having a calmness about me. That's what comfort means to me. And sometimes even if I'm going through rough patches in life, it's resting on knowing how God has always had my back, how he's always going to come through for me. So that brings me comfort even in the rough times, when I'm going through them. But comfort is a feeling of being taken care of. So it's people that make you feel like home, places where you go that bring you back to you, places that you go to mentally that bring you back to you. That's what I think about when I think about that word. So what does comfort mean for you? For different people, it's different things. Like, maybe self-care can be tied on it. Not just luxury, but that might be something for somebody, like having a luxurious experience, going to a nice spa, maybe traveling and staying in nice places. Like, yeah, being surrounded like by luxury like that, that's comfort for you. Safety. A lot of us don't even think about it, but being emotionally safe with people and just even general safety, that's a sense of comfort. Think about like when you're a kid and if you don't feel like your home is a safe space, how that can be distressing to you and, cause trauma and stuff. So that peace and like I said, the reassurance that you have knowing for me, like for faith, like knowing that God will have me no matter what I'm going to. So that comforts me. And I just think about why I even wanted to do this topic, because obviously we're going through some crazy times. I think I watched the news yesterday and it was listing all the car companies that were getting rid of like, I think 40% of their staff. So like a lot of these auto companies were laying off people. So it's rough times out here. It's really rough times out here. And so just, kind of carrying from what we talked about last week with resiliency, this week, I just kind of wanted us to kind of rest in that and think about the difference that it makes in our lives. So if you're in a place where like you haven't found that yet, I feel like it is tied to peace. And this year we're trying to be more easeful. Like we started the year at ease. Like we said, life was going to happen. So it was probably good that we eased into the year. And now we're here like about to be 5 months in. We're almost at the end of the 4th month. So it's like, if you haven't found a way to cultivate it yet, this is the time, because there's going to be so much coming for us, so much, happening, that you have to find the way to bring yourself, or else you will be at the mercy of this system. So hopefully this episode will kind of help you identify ways like maybe where you could work better on it and improve. But when it comes to faith, I want to express that you can even be comforted when you're going through the rough patches. Are the rough patches hard when you're going through them? Absolutely. Sometimes do you wish that you didn't have to? Of course. But there's a comfort knowing that, okay, I've been through this before and I've made it. So this time won't be any different. So it might feel like it's rough right now. It might feel like there's no way for me to come out of this, but I will get through it, because what? God has never failed me. He didn't fail me like yesterday. He didn't fail me the day before that. He's always shown up for me. I'm going to have what I need when I need it. And I just have to be open to the idea that it's not going to come in the way sometimes that I've imagined it or how I want it to be packaged, but he's going to give me what I need and give it to me at the right time. So knowing the difference and, understanding that it doesn't mean that there won't be trouble, but it's almost like when you have hope, like your comfort in God and what he provides for you and what he brings to your life is tied to your ability to be hopeful. Like you're hopeful that tomorrow will be better. You are hopeful that what you are experiencing today will not last always. You're hopeful that even when you're down, there'll be another time when you'll be up. Because why? He's a faithful God. He will always show up for you. He will always be there. So you rest assured knowing that, like, that is faith in general, because we don't see it, but we feel it. It's not something tangible, but it has had real life things happening for you that you have faith and know that, okay, God will carry me. He does have me. So let's see, what are the things that we do for us that brings comfort, right? So obviously I talked about it already, going to, get your nails done, do these things, self-care, all of that. But then sometimes it's like resting in people too, like having people that are like a safe space, like people that, no matter what, they can be there for you. They can love upon you. They can listen. Sometimes they don't even have to always talk or give you advice, but they're just good listeners, right? And then doing it for within yourself too. We've always talked about, finding that with other people, finding people in your life, having that community, all of that, that's great. But I am encouraging you to be able to sit in your own quiet moment, to be able to find peace within yourself, to say, okay, I am going to take this time of prayer. I'm going to take this time of worship and meet God and, be in his presence and, worship and pray and do all these things. And when you're going through that rough time, that can be a place of you like rejuvenating yourself. So if you already don't have that in your practice, I encourage you to, like, one of the things that I started to do that a lot of times I have to call myself out and be like, oh my gosh, I've kind of slacked on it, is making sure the first thing I do in the morning is like read my devotional, read the Bible, and have that time. And other times like I'm doing something else or I'm being distracted. But it's so important, like starting your day on that note. And especially when times are rough and you're going through, trials and tribulations, spending that time with him, spending the time in his word is going to give you that sense of peace and equip you to then start the day and go through your day and change your mindset, change how you experiencing things so that you will be able to make it. Next thing that I have on here is finding comfort in love. That one's kind of tricky because when you think of love, you always think of like a partner, but love comes in so many ways, right? Like, it can be a partner. You can have that. It can be friends. It can be family. It can be, you going through your healing journey, like nurturing that young kid in you that maybe there was something that they didn't have as you're healing through your trauma, healing through your stuff that you're getting to. I just think of like love, not just romantic love, but like I said, friends, family, but even that self-love. And that's the stage that I am at now. It's like, all the other types is important. It's good to have that, but I want the self-love. Like, that is important, where I honor myself, I accept myself, I see myself for who I am, all facets of me, and I love me for me. And, when you can be a safe space for other people, because we said it, reciprocity. So you want people that are a safe space, and then you yourself, you want to be a safe space for people. And so it's important that you yourself, that you hold space for people. You are a comforting person. You are a good listener. And sometimes that can be hard, depending on the kind of personality you have. Like, I tend to be in like fix it mode. So if somebody comes to me and they're having issues or whatever, I want to fix it. And I have to learn sometimes all I can do or all that person really wants is for me to have the ability to listen and not give any advice, not tell them what I'm going to do, not tell them how I'm going to do it, but just listen. And so you being a safe space in that way, that can bring a sense of comfort for other people. So meeting people where they are, giving them what they need. And sometimes that just means that you are not going to be the one talking at them, giving them advice, like just having your presence being enough. That's also good enough. And then in life itself, I think when you're living a comfortable life, like, you just appreciate everything around you more. So finding the beauty in your routines, finding the things that you do. My husband asked me to do something for him yesterday, and I told him, I said, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. And at the time, like, he was kind of like, what? Like, what does that mean? Like, I guess I was thinking out loud, but I'm like, it's the last thing I want to do, but I'm going to do it anyways because you're my husband and I love you and I'm going to be there for you. You asked me to do something for you. You need me to be there. I'm going to show up in that. And then, like, after we had a conversation, what he was saying was like, well, I just wanted to be in a place like where you find joy in doing the things for me because you asked me to do things and I don't always want to do them. And I find joy in doing them for you. So then I was like, well, it doesn't mean I wasn't joyful in doing it, but I'm just letting you know, like, it's the last thing I want to do, but I'm going to do it anyways. I felt like it was a lot of semantics on like how men and women communicate. But that routine, like, that we have built, the things that we have, like, that in itself is comforting for me. Knowing that, okay, I'm going to do this with him. I'm going to do this with the kids. I'm going to, like, sometimes, yes, it wears me out. But then every now and then I stop and I think, okay, like, this is something that I had hoped for, that I imagined that I will have. And then now I have it. So it's like, even the things that you struggle with, they're like, oh my gosh, I got to take the kids to this activity again, or I got to cook another meal again. Like, your daily routines and the things that you're doing every day, changing the perspective on maybe like looking at them differently. Like, yes, it's tiring and it's exhausting, but it's also a blessing because there was a time when I wished and hoped and imagined this that I'm living through. So yeah, finding the beauty in your routines. And of course, we've already talked at length about the beauty part, like taking care of yourself and all of that. You got to do it. As ladies, we have to take care of ourselves. So that lady talking about people wearing makeup and lashes, you don't know what that does for that nurse. Getting up, putting on her makeup, doing her hair and whatever. The nails, like I said, we already know we should not have those. I agree with you there. If somebody was, a professional and they showed up and, their chests were showing, I can agree with that. But like I said, I'm a woman of a certain build. So I also know sometimes you don't try to, but they be showing. Okay. So I totally get it. Like, but that's all part of people's beauty routine. Like, that's part of their comfort. That's part of their self-care. And that's why I was saying that girl was not even equipped to have this conversation because, oh, Lord Jesus. And then surrendering. Like, at first, it's like the most crazy thing. Surrendering to the process, surrendering to your life, surrendering to everything as it is. At first, sometimes it's like the most crazy thing that you can imagine. But then it brings you so much peace. Like, I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, it doesn't even matter anybody that's connected to me what they have going on to a certain degree, it's not going to affect me. Like, it's a decision I've made. Like, after this last bout of everything that I experienced, I'm like, I have to get to the point where it's like, no matter what's happening, I'm going to feel what I feel because I'm an empath. I feel emotions, I feel things. But it's like, I am making up my mind where it's like, no matter what's going on around me, I have to always surrender to the process and be like, okay, there's something here. And once I let go of that, I feel like some of my level of discomfort melts away. Like, that's the God honest truth. Like, I just feel like some of my just like the things that I'm then struggling with, that I'm fighting with, that I'm just like, why must it be this way? And da 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 da. But it's like, just let it be, because that's what has to be right now. And once I do that, it eases some of that tension for me. So I advise you to do the same thing, like practicing that surrender in your life. Like, pray about it, go about life, give life everything you've got. But there's certain areas, like once you start seeing that it's like, I'm doing everything and it's just not coming together, like, let me surrender to this and let me just let it be and let things happen, and it's going to come together. And when that thing comes together, it's going to be way more better than anything I could have ever imagined or done. So it's like, just let it be. Just let it be. And comfort doesn't always mean settling. Sometimes it just means being still. So like I said, maybe if you're trying to make something happen, it's not moving or shaking the way that it needs to, maybe sometimes you just need to withdraw, be quiet from it, and then take that time to ask your questions, maybe figure out your why. Maybe you're at the point where maybe reevaluations need to be done as to, why you're doing what you're doing. What is it that you're trying to do? Because maybe when you ask yourself those questions, it helps you to kind of re-strategize things. So it's like being still, being okay with things not moving sometimes. That is comforting in itself, because it's like, okay, I'm taking the time that I need to analyze this thing and hopefully get to a better answer, get to a better destination. And then contentment. Oh my gosh, contentment. I always used to think I was a content person. I always used to think that, I was okay having what I have. And then in the age of social media, that changed, right? Because when you have like all these people constantly like influencing you to buy things and do things, then you realize, okay, it's like, I see something, let me go and get it. Oh, I saw this, let me go and get it. Like, social media was kind of teaching us how to be discontent with our lives. Like, you can be influenced to say, oh, okay, I like this thing, and maybe give it some thought, but knowing that, okay, it's not everything that I see that I'm going to get or gonna have. And I had to be honest with myself, because I was like, wait, everything that I see, if I see that, I'm like, oh, let me go check how much it is. Oh, did they get it off Amazon? Let me go click. And it's like learning how to be content with what you have, learning how to be okay with where you are, like accepting things for what they are, learning to be happy with whatever little, big, small, whatever it is that you have. And then there will be room for more. And when it's easeful like that, it's so much better. You can actually enjoy it. When you have to be struggling and and doing all that to get something, when you do get it, now you're so exhausted, you can't enjoy that which you've gotten. So learning to slow down. Like, for me, that was a lesson that I needed to learn. Like, I can't get everything at once. I shouldn't get everything at once. And if I'm running myself raggedy trying to get everything at once, then I need to sit down somewhere and have a moment or two or three and just kind of like take things easy, take it in and just, absorb. So learning to be content, learning to be at ease. Life is not perfect. Let go of that idea of perfectionism. Like, I'm at the place where it's like, take it or leave it. Like I said the other day, I say, yes, I am a Christian. But if you've listened to this podcast enough, I've told you, like, there have been times when I'm mad and I'm like, bloopity bloop bloop. And I come back and I know I shouldn't be saying that. And I'm praying and I'm working towards it. I'm like, okay, sometimes my anger gets the best of me. So I have to learn how to control it. And yes, there are people who are going to come around me and they're going to try to trigger me and they're going to try to do all these things. But it's still my job to make sure I have myself under composure. And it was so crazy, like, because the other day I was like joking about it, but it really was coming from a place of hurt. Because I was like, I feel like sometimes God is testing me and I keep failing every test. And then there's a part of me that I then caught myself and I was like, no, I'm not failing every test. Like, I'm just being human. Like, he's testing me in this area because it's the area I have to keep working on. So that's what it identifies for me. But it's how I was imagining it. Because like, I'm still coming from that place where it's like, I'm taking a test and I'm failing or passing. And it's like, there's no gray area for me. Like, if I'm doing something and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm failing, like, it's a very deep thing for me. Like, it disturbs my peace, So when I thought about it that way, I was like, oh, that is so true. Like, all it could be is that these are areas that I still need to work on. And so that's why they keep coming up and they keep showing up. And when I conquer it, because then I had to think about other areas that I was weak at that I could not see, that now I look back at it and I'm like, girl, the amount of growth that you have gone through. But yeah, that's why I'm not getting those tests anymore, because I've learned what I needed to learn. So these particular areas that I felt like God has been trying me on for the last couple months that I come back to afterwards and I'm like, I failed. No, I still have to keep working on it. There is growth there. That's where my growth is at in this moment. So I challenge you to think of it the same way for you. Like if there's anything you're going through in your life that you just feel like, man, I keep failing. I'm just failing. Reprogram, restructure how you're looking at it. Keep saying there's still more growth here. There's still more work for me to do here. And that in itself should bring you a better sense of ease and comfort with the whole thing, right? Because it's like, okay, that pressure now of like pass, fail, A or F, like that's not the essence here. The essence is, what am I supposed to get from this? What am I supposed to learn here? And who am I going to be at the other end? So that's my thing for you. So I'm going to wrap it up because I feel like we've had a good discussion today. And I just want to have you just think about it. So think about what are the ways you find yourself? What are the ways you find comfort for yourself physically, spiritually, mentally? What are the places that you do? Journaling is great. Sometimes that's even a great thing. And you write down your feelings, you're able to put them pen to paper. Sometimes I'm a better person writing than I am speaking. I can be awkward sometimes. And sometimes like you're sharing something with me that's maybe hurtful and deep. And then I'm trying to relate to you. And in my effort to relate to you, then I'm speaking or saying something that I shouldn't be saying. But sometimes it's because my mouth starts speaking before my head finished thinking. But when I can write it down, I can be much more expressive in that way and much more intentional with what I'm saying. And it's just a better thing. So if you like to journal, if you like to write down your feelings, I encourage you to do that as well. But think about, how am I finding my comfort? And if those things that you're doing right now to comfort yourself, they're not healthy, start working on them, start changing them. Like if you're drinking to find comfort, like start doing something else, start exercising, start going for walks instead. Anytime you get the urge, like maybe smoking, it's like every time I'm stressed, I want to be comforted with a cigarette. Let me start replacing it with something else that's better for me, that's healthier for me. So analyze your life. Look at the ways that you comfort yourself. We're not supposed to comfort ourselves with food. There are certain foods that it's like, oh my gosh, when my mom cooks that soup, that's a different thing. But every time you're going through an emotional thing or trauma or whatever it is that's happening to you, you are eating and eating. That's not a healthy way. So it's like, I have to look at the ways I'm comforting myself and making sure that they are actually good for me and leading to a better me. And it takes a lot of work and it takes honesty because, sometimes the things that you're good at doing or that you have been doing, you will find a way to justify it 500 million times. But deep within yourself, you'll be like, okay, every time I'm going through this, I'm smoking. Like, are you supposed to be smoking? Is that good for you? If you end up needing like a transplant later on, like, are you going to be mad at yourself that you put yourself in that situation? Okay. So then what are we going to do to change it? How are we going to be better? Your body is a temple. So how are you treating it like it is? The honesty, like... So don't just do surface level stuff. Really look at yourself. Like it can be in another person. That one exists too. We don't talk about that enough, right? Like it can be in another person. Like you are finding comfort in that individual. You're finding comfort in that act that you're doing with that individual instead of dealing with your actual feelings, what you're going through. So it's like, I'm feeling this kind of way. So then I sleep with this person or I'm, like that's not healthy. That's not healthy too. So I ask you to just examine all areas of your life and to continue with, where we're going with this series. I just hope that you just feel wrapped up in love, that first, the love of God, that you're able to just see his love all around you. He uses people, but sometimes his love, his presence is there in nature, is there in your quiet times. So I hope and pray for you that you feel the presence of God and you feel him all around you. And that you have a steadiness in life. Like I joke about it all the time because I'm like, it's just the stage in life that I'm in. So I'm like, I want to be lovely even in chaos. But it's like understanding that that's what God wants for me. Like everything around my life might be crazy sometimes and it's going to be crazy sometimes. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to make it. But again, when I surrender and I let go and I let things be the way he wants it to be, it will work out. It will be okay. So all of that stuff that might be happening right now in the world around us, knowing that God truly wants you to be steady. God truly wants you to be at peace in the midst of chaos. Like that's where he works the best. I was watching a preaching by Priscilla and she was trying to explain why the storm can be happening, but in the eye of the storm, that's where the calmness is. So I leave you with that. Like find your eye, find your steadiness. Where it's like everything might be rocking, everything might be going. And that's when people will look at you and be like, I don't know how the heck you doing that. Like, don't you see the fire burning and that fire burning and over there going off and this, da, da, da. And it's like, okay, because I look to him. He directs me. I mean, don't joke about it. I pray about everything. Like, oh God, should I be doing this? There's something he has been telling me for like the past month. And it has to do like with me healing a failure that I had in the past. And it's like, this is the time. And he's been telling me this is the time. And what I've learned after last year is like, when God is speaking to me, I'm not going to wait 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months. I'm going to do it now. So this thing, he's been telling me this is the time. And I told myself this week, I'm going to take the first step towards it. It's scary as heck, but I know that whatever is going to come the way, I might have those same feelings again when I get there. But I pray that I've experienced enough, that I've learned enough lessons, that even if I have the same experience, the outcome will not be the same again. So I'm willing to still step out here by faith, because that is what faith means. So I'm going to keep trying. But I encourage you to do the same thing in your life. Pray about everything, consult him with everything. And even when life is raging, it's going around. And especially these times, you have to learn where it's like all of this stuff is going to be happening, but find your eye of the storm. Stay steady, stay focused, still, live lovely in the midst of the chaos, because the chaos is there. The world is chaotic as we know it, but you're creating your little slice of heaven. Like, that's like at the essence of what I'm trying to say with, my platform is like that loveliness. It's not because it's a fakeness of like perfection all the time. It's knowing through God, I can achieve that. I can have that because he's with me, regardless of everything that can be going on. I can be rest assured that it's going to turn out okay. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be just fine. So I leave you guys with that. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Like I said, I am going to watch Sinners. I want to go out to like nice restaurant and enjoy a date night with my hubby. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a great dinner. I'm going to make him spend some good money. And then I'm going to go see Sinners. And then it's my mother's birthday this weekend. So I want to do something nice and fabulous for her. Like I said, I love hosting parties and stuff. So I'm going to surprise her with something this weekend. And hopefully she enjoys it. But yeah, I'm just spending time with my loved ones, basking in, my relationships that I do have that I value so much. And I hope the same is being done with you on your end, that no matter what is happening in your life, you will have your friends, your family, yourself, a love on yourself. There's nothing wrong. I mean, I did that 2 months ago. And I told myself once a quarter, I need to have a me date time. Like, there's nothing wrong with you going to the movies by yourself, treating yourself to that nice dinner, taking yourself out because you deserve it. So don't wait for anybody to do it for you. Find your comfort in life. Go through anything that you're going through, knowing that God's got you. You're going to make it. It's going to work out. And he wants the steadiness for you. He wants the loveliness for you. He wants the self-love for you. He wants the partner love for you. If you have somebody in your life, and if you're not there yet, you continue to work on yourself and that person will come along. And then remember, you're not doing a test. It's not who wins and who's getting the test and who's passing the test. It's what am I learning? What am I getting from this? And so I leave you guys with that. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Let's see. I feel like because I did all the music, the albums that I was listening to, I almost don't even have anything that I want to add because I spent such a big time in the beginning talking about that. But let's see what's on my playlist recently. I like this Proud of Me song by Friday and Meek Mill. So that's going to be my song of the week. Proud of Me by Friday and Meek Mill. Friday, when he came out last year, he had his moment. I said last year, I think it was a year before last, like with the DJ Khaled song. And then ever since then, I've been listening to his music. And so I like the message that song was sending. So my husband actually played it. And then I was like, oh, what was this song? Da, 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 da. And then I added it to my playlist. So he's actually the one that put me onto that. So Friday and Meek Mill, Proud of Me. And for your worship song, let me see what I added to the playlist. Let me see what I got. If I should hit you guys with a new one or if I should give you guys a oldie but goodie. That's what I'm trying to decide. It's hard though. It's hard. I'm like, should I hit you guys with a new one or should I give you guys you know what? I am going to hit you guys with a good one because I feel like given like what we just talked about and kind of like what we talked about last week when you say, everybody's going through rough times and all that. Let's say You Carried Me by Aqyila Carr, Tasha Cobbs, and Blanca. I hope I haven't suggested that before, but I just feel like this is the opportune time for that. And then Aqyila has a new song. I added that to my playlist as well. So I'll share 2 with you. I'll bless y'all with 2 this week, okay? So you ain't never say I never gave y'all nothing. Don't ever say I never gave you nothing. I give you more. I give you more than what I planned. I give you more than what was there. Aqyla's new song is called Don't Faint. I added that to my playlist like the first time I heard it. And then this other one that I just recommended to you is the older one with her and Tasha Cobbs. It's called You Carried Me. That's such a beautiful, beautiful song. I love it. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye now. You just finished an episode of Banta with Toni. Did you like it? I hope you had a great time and that you have some takeaways from this episode. But before you go, I want to ask you one thing, and that is to share this episode or this entire podcast with a friend, family member, or acquaintance. Because remember, when you have something good, you need to talk about it. You need to share it and you need to shout it from the rooftops. So go on and let people know in your life that you have this wonderful podcast that you would like to share with them. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, your support, and everything else in between. And remember, if you do it, I have to talk about it. Have a great week.